Hello, welcome back. In this video, I'll be walking you step by step through getting your bookkeeping caught up quickly. And I'll be showing you two different methods to do that. One is using the accounting software that I recommend the best out of them all. I have a video that goes through comparing accounting software, but I can just summarize that video up and tell you that if I'm going to pick one, it's going to be Xero. And I'll be showing you how you can get caught up quickly the entire year or past few years in this software, step by step. I'll also be showing you how you can do that using my unique spreadsheet templates. And I'll be helping you decide which option is better for you as we go through this video. Let's jump in and get started. So here are the steps that we're going to take to catch up your accounting records quickly. First, you're going to create your account or save a spreadsheet template. We're going to set up your settings. We're going to enter beginning balances for all of your bank accounts and credit card or other loan accounts. We're going to sync all of your business, bank, and credit card accounts. All the transactions, we're going to sync them in. We're then going to record the transactions. We're going to do some special adjustments to make sure that you get credit for all of your personal paid expenses that maybe you never got reimbursed from the business, because we don't want you to miss out on those no matter what method you're using. And then lastly, we're going to show you how to review your reports and make sure your totals tick and tie to your other softwares. That's how you verify that everything is actually correct. Now, when it comes to choosing between software and spreadsheets, it really comes down to personal preference. Now, there are pros and cons to each method, and neither method removes the complexity of accounting completely. Accounting is by nature a bit monotonous because what we're doing with your accounting record is we're creating one location that completely mimics everything that happened financially related to your business in real life in one place. Now, the benefit of using software is that a lot of things can be automated. However, you generally need to have a higher level of expertise about bookkeeping and accounting to understand what the software is actually doing in the background. Granted, I'm happy to answer your questions here, and you can get more help from me with Xero or Spreadsheets in my Master Your Accounting and Taxes program. Now, with spreadsheets, they tend to be a bit more manual, and all of our processes are therefore going to be a little bit more manual, but our unique accounting spreadsheet templates have removed the need to know debits and credits. And so as you can see, there's pros and cons to each. So I'm going to walk you through catching up your accounting records quickly with both these methods so that you can see which one looks more appealing to you. Let's flip over to Xero first, and I'm going to walk you through it. If you want to support me and my channel, I would really appreciate it if you use my link. It will give me credit for this video. Plus, my Xero link will give you a deep discount on the software. Right now, it's 90% off for the first 6 months, subject to change, but you have to click my software link. So check out the pinned comment down below or the description box, and I'll have it linked there for you to follow along. So step one is creating your account. And you're going to be asked some basic information questions, your business name. You'll select from the industry, your country, and what type of business you have. Step two is our settings. And to get there, we'll go up in the top left by our business name and then settings. And there are all sorts of settings for using the software, but they're primarily about things that you're doing on an ongoing basis. And since we're focusing on getting caught up in this video, I'm gonna skip over most of that. But I'm doing a detailed Xero setup video, so be sure to check that out if you need more help and post any questions you have below. I do wanna show you the chart of accounts right here. And this is where we make our accounts. And you can come back to this section at any time later on when we're recording our transactions. But to change an account, you can simply click on it and in the pop-up window, change the name of it. I highly recommend making the names of your accounts more specific to what you have going on and using, your specific language for how you refer to things so that when you look at the reports make more sense. You can add a new account by going to add account at the top, and then you'll select an account type, whether it's income, expense, asset, liabilities, owner's equity. You'll enter a number for the account and then a name for it. Step 3 is to enter our beginning balances. And this is called conversion balances in Xero. And we'll see an option for this under the settings. And you don't actually have to do this now. You might wait to do this until you've added your bank accounts and you've gotten your transactions in here. But basically what this means is what were the balances in our accounts whenever we're starting to use this software. So if you are starting to catch up your records, let's say for multiple years since your business started, then when you started, these balances would start at 0 and you would have nothing to enter here. But if your business had already been operating even before the time that you're starting to use the software for, then you're going to have some beginning balances. At the simplest, you'll probably have a bank account balance. And once you add your bank accounts, which I'm going to show you next, then you'll be able to enter the starting balances here. Step 4 is to add your bank accounts. And to do that, we're going to go accounting, bank accounts. Now we can set up our bank accounts to sync automatically. Once you find your bank account, it will prompt you to sync it and it'll show you the software that it's going to use. So it might use Plaid or Yodlee. And then on the next screen, it will most likely have you log in to your account. There can be other ways that you're prompted to set up the sync based on your bank institution, but it's pretty straightforward. You just follow the prompts. After you tell it to create new accounts, then you'll be able to enter the start date for when it starts importing. So you can use the auto import for as much time as it allows. Plus, this is just setting up your bank sync so that it will be auto importing regularly going forward. Now that we added some bank accounts, on our homepage, you can see this prompt along the top to add our bank accounts to our home screen. And I really like that because then each bank account, payment processor, credit card is shown here with the balances and what needs to be reconciled. If you're getting caught up, you probably have more transactions to import. So we can do that manually by going to the bank account, clicking those 3 dots in the top right and clicking import a statement. So you'll need to log into your online banking for your bank or credit card account and download the transactions, and then you can upload them here. So step 5 is the fun part. This is where we're going to record all of the transactions that we just imported through our bank and payment processors and credit cards. So when you come to the home page, you'll see, for example, here's our business checking and the blue button says reconcile 22 items. So if I click on that, this is where we're going to do the bulk of the work of recording our transactions. So down here, we see all of the bank statement lines on the left, and then we're going to record them in Xero on the right. Who did we pay or receive money from? Once you enter an account, then a little blue OK button will pop up and we can click that. Now, when you're recording a lot of transactions to get caught up, the software learns what you are going to select and updates it for you automatically. So you can just click OK, 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 which is convenient. If a certain transaction comes in, you can just go to options above it and create a bank rule. And this is really convenient because then it will run the rule whenever the criteria is met. So once these two amounts are matching, then it will say reconciled and there'll be a little green check mark. And basically you need to do that with all of your accounts, all of your transactions, and payment processors. So step 6 is recording any business expenses that you paid for personally. And to do that, we're going to go to the accounting tab on top and select manual journals. And you need to make sure that your user setting is admin to be able to do this. Then you'll click a new journal. Then you'll go ahead and enter the description, the date, and you'll enter your totals as debits because expense normal balance is debit. You'll select the related expense accounts, and then we'll do a credit to your owner equity account. So this is a cheat way of having reimbursed yourself or basically making it as if you contributed the money to the business and then the business spent these expenses. It's not the best way to do it, but it is the way to do it when you're getting caught up from the past and you didn't handle personal paid business expenses correctly. Now, step 7 is where we look at our reporting. Under all reports, our two main business reports are the income statement and the balance sheet. So first thing with the income statement, you want to look at it for whatever year you're looking at, and you want to look at your total income amounts and tie them out to whatever other softwares that you're using. So if you use a payment processor, you might get a 1099K and that will have an amount on it. Whatever other softwares you're using, you just want to kind of verify that your reports look right. And there's all sorts of customizations and ways that you can look at the data in Xero. Their reports are really cool. Okay, so these are my auto accounting spreadsheet templates as part of our Master Your Accounting and Taxes program. So step 1 is saving your spreadsheet, and you can just make a copy of a spreadsheet template on Google Drive. For step 2, our settings are basically this spreadsheet setup tab, where you can enter your account categories for your accounting record for income, expenses, assets, liabilities, and owner's equity. We also have some other optional categorizations. And to get set up, we enter each of our bank accounts on an entry worksheet, as well as our payment processors and any credit cards or loan. So you can update the names of these entry worksheets by double-clicking on them and putting the name of your bank or account. And then you'll also list your bank accounts under our asset accounts and credit cards or loans under our liabilities. So step 3 is enter your beginning balances for your accounts. And so for all of our bank and credit card accounts, we primarily do this by entering the last day of the prior year. So for 2024, we do 2023 and entering the starting balance in this bank account. For step 4, to import or sync our transactions, we have the regular copy and paste method where you take that download from your bank account and then you just copy in the date column, any description or other details, and amount column. We also have a software that allows you to do this automatically from your bank accounts. Step 5 is recording transactions. And what that means is selecting an account, which is this drop-down menu is our income, expense, asset, liability, and owner equity accounts. And so selecting an account for each transaction. Then to reconcile, we'll go ahead and enter our ending bank balance as of the last transaction. So on 2/15/2025, 28,800. And this is just a check in case anything changes to show that we've fully accounted for every transaction that happened in that account. So for step 6, we take one of our entry worksheets and we just call it personal paid expenses. we'll go ahead and remove that beginning balance line because there is no real balance. And we'll change the balance column to how we paid, just so that we can keep track of that. And then you'll just go ahead and list all of your transactions here that you paid for personally, but didn't get reimbursed by the business. And that's it. Once we select an account for all of these, they're going to be accounted for in our reports automatically. However, we will need to manually adjust our owner equity accounts on our owner equity worksheet because our spreadsheets don't have journal entries like we did in Xero. And step 7 is to review our reports. So if we head over to our report section over here after our entry worksheets, we can see we have that income statement, we have a balance sheet, and we have a few other really convenient reports. Now, the income statement is where you, again, want to verify that your totals are lining up with any totals that you have tax forms for or that you have other softwares for. Sometimes that can be a bit tricky. We also have check numbers on our spreadsheet, so you can see these zeros here, and then we have other places to verify that everything is being accounted for with our little check numbers here. These zeros are good. And that's it. That's a quick rundown of these same steps for getting caught up in our spreadsheets. So hopefully this gives you a good comparison, and you should kind of get a feel whether you're more of a spreadsheet person or you really like the feel of software. Okay, and that's all. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you get caught up quickly. So there's no wrong answer here. I love both Xero and my spreadsheets. It's just going to depend on what's the right fit for you. Okay, and that's all. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still trying to make a decision, comment your thoughts and questions and situations down below. I try to respond to every comment. And if you're new to my channel, consider subscribing so that I'll see you next time. Bye.